To help us understand how half beat works in Solfa notation, we are going to introduce something, and that is what everybody knows. So what you've just seen is a bouncing ball. Now have a look at this. What I'm going to do with the bouncing ball to use it to understand how half beats works. So look at these figures. Calculate how many times the movement this ball will make from position A to position B. Are you ready? If you're ready, let's go. It seems you didn't calculate the bouncing, right? Now let's have it again. Let the ball bounce again. This time pay attention. Calculate the movement it will make from A to B. Let's go. The ball bounced on the points that were B points 8 times. It bounced 8 times, but actually it made 16 movements. From A to B is 1, from B to A is 1. So for each of the bounces, there was a two-way movement, down, up, down, up. I'm sure some of us have calculated here only down, and forgot the down upside. So this is exactly what happens when we are trying to interpret Solfa notation on half beats. There are always a two-way movement whenever we are counting any beats in Solfa music. As we are counting 1, 2, for example, in 2/4 movement, as you are counting 1, 2, 1, 2. For each one, assuming you are using your hand from up to down on the script, on the piece of music, you are counting 1, 2. When you count 1, before your hand leaves that point to go to 2, it must have gone from down to up. That is exactly what the ball did. When you bounce the ball, it goes to the ground, bam, and comes back to you before it goes to another point. That is how what will help us to determine half beat in Solfa notation. This is an arrangement in 2/4. We want to use it to illustrate half beat using the ball. Look at the ball. The ball is positioned as if your hand is up to count on the beat. Do, mi, do. But see what the ball will do. It will come down to do, the beat point, and then goes up before it goes to 2. Now for the do in beat 1, the ball will make how many movements? 2. Down, up before it goes to the beat 2, where you have the extension to also make a down, up movement before it will cross the bar to enter bar 2 to make two ways movement, down, up. So let's see it. You see what it's doing? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So what it's just doing is it's counting 1, 2, 1, 2, but for each beat it's counting, is making a two-way movement. Look at it again. Do, mi, do, do, mi, do, do, mi, do. What you are hearing is only the do, mi, do. Pay attention. We are driving at something. We want to land at a half beat. Even for 3-beat arrangement, the same thing. The ball will still bounce 3 times. Look at it bouncing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Half beats in tonic solfa or solfa notation is represented with a dot, a full stop. The work is to divide a beat into 2 equal halves. From the illustrations we saw, the ball was bouncing, making a 2-way movement, down, up, down, up, down, up. And that is exactly what happens in solfa notation. When the half beat symbol is used, it creates 2 separations. It divides a beat into 2 equal halves. Now the 2 separations, you have some properties or some notes or anything before the dots, and you have other ones after the dots. In other cases, there can be occasions when nothing is placed before or after the half beat symbol, that is the dot. In that case, we say what we have is a half beat rest. Look at figure 3, figure 4, and figure 5. In figure 3, beat 1, bar 1, beat 1, you see the half beats. In bar 2, there are half beats and scattered all over the figures. Look at all the half beats indicated with the arrow reds. So those are the half beats. Remember, everything you see, some notes, or we can call them property because it can be notes, it can be notes, it can be rest, that is space, nothing is there. Each of these things count accordingly. Now, let's start to get something real. Look at in figure 4, bar 3. You see that before the half beat, the full stop sign, there is nothing. That is a typical example of rest. This is half beat rest before the half beat sign. And also in the 4th bar, you also see it there. Wherever it is, the application, the principle is the same. Now look at other ones also in figure 5. You see them there. There are many of them there. Let's look at this figure. It will also help us to understand how to apply half beats in solfa notation. Look at this figure. 2 triangles that are juxtaposed. Now, look at the upper note, do, re. You see the do in red. The full stop, which is the symbol of half beats, is in red. Now you see the re after the full stop, the half beat sign is in blue or purple. Look at the conical figure below. The up cone, or let's use triangle, is in purple, color purple. The down cone is in red color. Now the purple color, the up cone is, we use it in this illustration, we use it to signify the notes after the full stop. That is, in this case, it is the re. The re is also in purple color. And then the red side of the figure is the note before the full stop sign, before the half beat sign. Then look at the dividing points. The dividing points, you see it with a dashed line, and then the arrow that tells you that it is the half beat position. So between these two notes, this do, re, up, the point of division where you have the full stop, the symbol, is in the dividing point, the half beat position. What it means is, remember how we bounced the ball. You bounce the ball from up to down. First of all, from your hand, it goes down and then comes up to you. Down, up, down, up. That is how the thing bounces. In that movement from the A position, from your hand to the ground, remember we said it makes a two-way movement. That down is symbolized with red, where we have the do here, and then the purple color up is symbolized with when the ball is coming from ground to back to your hand before it should go again. What does this tell us? When you are trying to count half beats, the down position is the first half of it, and then the up position is the second half of it. So half down, half up will give you a full note, a full beat. Let's introduce the ball. Let it do the thing for us. Now see how the ball bounces. Down, up, 1, 1. This do, re, do, re, do. See where the do is coming from, the re portion. Do, re, and the re, down, up. You got what I mean? Now let the ball do it again. Do, re, do, re, do. See where the do is coming from, the re portion. Do, re, and the re, down, up. Now let's add more illustrations for your understanding. Look at this arrangement. It is do, do, mi, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, do, do. Before the ball comes up, try to use your hand. Target the figures 1, 2, 1, 2. As your hand is coming down on the 1, that is when you should sing the note before the full stop. That is the half beat. When your hand is going up to go to the next beat, beat 2, that is when you sound the note after the full stop. It is do, 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 mi, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, do, do. Now see what the ball is going to do. You see that bar 1, you have the do, do, mi. In the first beat, you have the red color for one do and blue color, the purple color for the second do. The red color is for the do before the full stop, which is the down property, the downside, as you can see in the cone, the red side. Now the purple side is for the upside. Now in the second beat, mi is only in red, meaning that mi has both up and down. Is the landlord, is occupying both down half and up half, unlike in the first beat that the two doors are sharing the room together. One has half, the other one has up. So that is why when you are singing do, do, mi is occupying everywhere. Let's see what the ball is going to do. Do, do, mi, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, do, do. There can be something before the dot and after the dot. There can also be nothing before the dot or after the dot. Whichever situation you see it, know that we are talking about half beat application. In this case, in bar 3, you see that the mi, there's nothing before the full stop, the half beat, but there's something after it. Also in the bar 4, where we have the do, there's nothing before the full stop, which means we have half beat rest. How do we sing it? The same principle applies. If you remember your ball, how your ball bounces down and up, down, up. In bar 4, when it's coming down, the down portion, you say nothing. That is, you rest for half, the strength of half. That is the simple application of it. Now let's sing along. Mi, do, re, mi, It's as simple as ABC. Let's do it again. Mi, mi, do, re, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, do. I hope it's making some sense to you now, and it's getting more interesting. Also, like we did in the previous slide, we had our half beat rest before the half beat, the full stop. Here, let's combine some using half beat rest after the half beat symbol or before it. It's very interesting. Whichever way it is placed, know that they are the same thing. Now, let's go. Let's bring our ball. Our ball is set. Let's go. Remember, the downside, the red side is for the property, the notes before the full stop, which is the symbol of half beat. Let's get it done. Just sing. So far, re, re, do, la, la, so, mi, re, do. Now let's bring this animal that jumps up and down to show some half beat application with extension and then with rest. You see what it's doing? Still maintaining 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Add that to here, bam, bam, 1, tan, tan, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's basically how it goes. Now let's put some real words, real notes to it and sing it to see how it goes. Now let's go. Mi, so, re, fa, mi, do, mi, re, fa, mi, re, do, mi, so, fa, la, fa, re, mi, do, ti, la, re, mi, fa, mi, do, re, ti, do. So that's how it goes.